Hey everyone, welcome to the first episode of the IRMA Show, where we're going to talk about the future of Web3 and AI marketing. And of course, with my guests here and myself, we'll probably throw in and sprinkle in a little cryptocurrency. My name is Erik Mendelson. I am I guess, an executive in the cryptocurrency space, but I got my hands in a lot of things, everything from real estate and music. But it's not about me today. Today, it's about my guest, Stéphane. Welcome.
Welcome back up. Thank you for inviting us.
Yeah, of course, of course. I guess we'll talk about the convergence of Web3 and AI. We'll break down. I guess we'll try to make some stuff that's complicated for some of the layman people out there. We'll try to break it down and make it simple to talk about. But first, I really want to learn about yourself before we get into IRMA and the company that you run. What were you doing before IRMA? And just give the audience a little bit background about you.
Sure. So my background has always been in IT. So I had like a master in systems and network. So my whole career basically was in IT. I started at a company called Capgemini. So that's one of the biggest, consultant firm in the world. And so I had like the chance to work on multiple projects. So one of them was like helping to organize the Rugby World Cup 2007 in France. So that was really a great, like experience with great people. And fast forward to 2016, so I started really like to get interested like into the cryptocurrency field, blockchain, and so I started like to invest in a lot of crypto projects early on. So, like as you know, like at the time where like we had like all these ICOs popping up, so you just had like to basically say like the word blockchain or crypto, and then like people were throwing millions at you, right? So it was like the gold age, I would say, of cryptocurrencies. But unfortunately also came like a lot of projects like pumps and dumps and things like that, so that was not really like the great side of it. But yeah, so that's like how I started, I would say, my journey in crypto. And then I met at a Bitcoin conference in Miami in 2018. I met my current partner, so Michael Woloshin. And so he was already working like in a lot of marketing tools. And so that's how like we started like to speak. He explained me like his grand vision, I would say, with combining like marketing and crypto at first, and after that, like also combining AI as well. And so that's how like we decided to create the company called Digital Innovations Group, and to create also like an engine called IRMA. So IRMA stands for Internet Reasoning Model Aggregator. And so the idea would be like that this engine would control like all the tools that Mike already developed like over the years for marketing, and to use this engine to control everything. So meaning that what we want to do is to be the one-stop shop for everything marketing, everything related to marketing. And that's like how like this whole idea came up.
Yeah, before we go really deep dive into IRMA, which is what I'm fascinated about, you've basically been involved in AI and blockchain and I guess marketing like long before these fields or these areas ever really collided. And I think that in 2026, as we moved away from 2025 and now we're in 2026, I think there's going to be a very strong intersection of AI and marketing. But how does or how do you foresee AI and marketing colliding in 2026 to the benefit of users of IRMA or just in general?
Mhm. So I think that that will be like a very like a big like field. So marketing. So what is great about marketing is that every company needs marketing, right? For one reason or the other. So the two use cases we see the most is like first, like you have like companies that want to raise like some funds, so some money. So they use usually like marketing to do that. And then you have like other companies that use marketing to sell their products and services. So that's really like the two areas. And I think that in the future, especially with AI, every day you have new like AI tools, right? And it's really really hard like to keep up to date, I would say, with everything. And so that's why I think that to have like one tool, I would say, that can do like pretty much everything you need for marketing. So that's, you know, like the future, and that's what we are trying to do with IRMA. Because as you know, with AI, like you can pretty much already do like anything you want already, but sometimes it's a little bit complicated because you have to use like one tool to do this, then another tool to do something else, etc., etc. And so what we are trying to do is really to combine everything all in one tool.
Yeah, so in essence, Irma it's kind of like rebuilding the marketing funnel because when I found out about Irma not that long ago and about what you and Michael were building, I understood what you guys did immediately because I have these problems in my day-to-day life. So what are my problems for myself? There's a lot of AI technologies are popping up every single day. I don't really know where to start.
Mhm.
I tried playing around with agents and all this. Not to say that I'm confused, but there's a lot going on. Some of them work, some of them didn't work. Some of them did what I wanted them to do, but not fully. It wasn't robust, right? And then when I take a look more so granularly at marketing, of course, all the different fields that I have my hands in, whether it's crypto and blockchain or me being a day-to-day real estate agent, as well as involved in the music industry, throughout my entire career, I've had to figure out different ways to market, whether it's music artist, market myself as an agent to get clients to sell property, or of course, if I'm advising or working for a company in blockchain or in crypto, it's all about marketing, getting new users and new people to adopt the technology or understand whatever product we're building. And I, I'm almost afraid to admit I didn't really even know what a CRM was until a few years ago. And
Okay.
I'm an old guy here, and I didn't really understand what a CRM was. And then when I started to look and play around with CRMs, I didn't have the time to learn CRMs. I
Mhm.
played around with MailChimp many years ago. The new version of MailChimp to me, it's very robust. There's a lot going on. I don't have the whole time to understand MailChimp. But when I buy products from companies that I like, there's an eyeglass company that I like called Vintage Frames, right? If I go on their website and I click on something, I'm getting a text message, I'm getting an email. I'm like, oh, you left this in your shopping cart. It's like everything is just automatically happening. And they do such an amazing job. This is physical products,
Yeah.
not digital, but they do such an amazing job of targeting me and marketing me that I spend thousands of dollars a year on sunglasses that I don't even really need. But because their product is great, but their marketing is even better. And I've always been jealous of them. And I'm like, how do I get my marketing to that level? But I don't want to have to learn all these different processes that they learn. And
Yeah.
essentially, if correct me if I'm wrong, but what Irma essentially does is it kind of makes that like you said a one-stop shop process so I can go in there, I can tell the Irma engine what I need to do, what I'm trying to market. It will even provide scripts for me and triggers and do this, do that, like this type
Yeah.
of messaging, and it will actually execute that for me. So I
Mhm.
don't have to learn all these thousands of different programs. I can kind of do everything on one platform, and Irma kind of does it for me. Is that pretty accurate?
That's very accurate, yes. So what we did with Irma is that, as I said, so we already have or had, should I say, the all the tools, right? Like that you are describing. So, for example, you know, like if you want to have like automation for social media, content creation, emails, webinars. So we already had like all these tools, right? But as you said, we still needed humans to push the buttons, I would say, right? Like to trigger like all these automations. And so now, like, so what we are working on at the moment is really like to build, you know, like this engine that will do everything for you. So you don't need, you know, like to understand like, oh, okay, maybe I should like send like 10,000 emails per day, or I should do like 5 webinars a week, or whatever it might be. So Irma will exactly like structure, you know, like everything that is needed for your products or services, you know, like depending on what you want to market. And so everything will be done automatically for you. So that's like the big thing. And so that's also, you know, like why we created the engine, because as you said, a lot of people, you know, like they have an idea of what they should do, or what they want to do, but then they don't have any idea on how to execute. And I think that that's the part that Irma solves, because it will execute for you.
So I'm a father of a 15-year-old child, and I'm excited about AI because I'm a technologist and I realize how much easier the world is going to be with AI. But I'm also a little bit scared of AI. I think that AI is going to replace and potentially it's going to hurt critical thinking in this country or in the world, especially for my 15-year-old son, where he could just go into an AI platform and ask what 2 plus 2 is. But if he didn't have ChatGPT or Gemini or one of these AI platforms, I'll say, hey, Tristan, what's 2 plus 2? And he'll look at me and say banana, meaning it's just it's making things so easy that people don't even have to learn and it destroys critical thinking. Do you think that AI is or IRMA will replace marketing or having a marketing person at a company, or is it more of a tool that enables them to be better and more efficient, more cost productive?
I would say that probably like in the future, like you won't really need, like at least not like a full team, like dedicated team as you do right now. Maybe you will just need one person like that will be able to maintain, I would say, like IRMA, like the different systems and things like that. But right now, it's really like a tool, like to definitely like help these, like if you have like a big, like marketing team or whatever, it will definitely like supercharge, I would say, like this team. But on the other side, if you are like let's say like if you have like a small to medium size like company, you don't really have like the funds, like to have a dedicated marketing person, marketing tool or whatever, marketing team, I mean, then IRMA is for you because IRMA will be able to act, like as your marketing team. So even, like with a low budget, I would say you will still be able to do everything you need for marketing. So it could go both ways, I would say. Of course, if you have like the team and things like that, IRMA will be a great tool to help them and to supercharge them. But if you don't, then it will also be very good for you.
Yeah, that's great. Like I'm the CEO of my own businesses. I don't have a very large staff. I'm very cost effective and like to keep my budgets extremely low. And in the past, I've had to hire outsourced marketers to do what I wasn't able to do or what I didn't have the time to do. And it's good that I can rely on a platform like IRMA to kind of facilitate that for me. So it's clear to me that marketing is being rebuilt right now, and IRMA is at the charge of that intersection of AI and marketing. But there's also a Web3 component or a blockchain or crypto component
Yes.
to IRMA, and there's certainly differences between Web2 applications, which basically controlled our data, and then we were the product of that data that was sold to branding agencies. How is that kind of switching and pivoting with the whole Web3 integration with AI and this marketing a platform that you guys have built?
Yeah. So the reason why I think, like the Web3 and crypto, like came into play is that a big component of IRMA is that people will be able, like to earn rewards. So earn, like IRMA tokens to help us, like market, I would say, our customers, products and services. So how it will work is that, for example, let's say that you have like a lot of followers on Instagram or Twitter or whatever it might be. And so you are like, well, you know what? Like right now I have like, I don't know, like 10,000, for example, followers, but it doesn't really like give me anything, right? So then what you could do is that you could go to IRMA Rewards, our website, then like subscribe, and then you could say, hey, you know what? Like, for example, I'm interested into crypto, for example. And so if you guys have like customers like into the crypto world, I don't mind, like them using my profile to push, like their products and services, for example. And so if we are using like your profile to push, like products and services from one of our crypto clients, then you would get compensated into IRMA tokens. So it's a way for you to earn, like different tokens, etc. So now, like the thing is that, as you know, with crypto payments nowadays, it's still a struggle if you want to pay, like somebody from India, Malaysia, like or any countries like that are pretty far. So you would, like, let's say if you have to pay them like $10, it might, like cost you like, let's say like $5, like just in fees and things like that, right? And so that's the exact reason why, like when I talked to Mike, I said, look, like we have like now like the marketing piece of it. We have like we added like AI, which is great, but then you also have like to add like the Web3 component, I would say, so we can pay people from all over the world like in a very effective manner, I would say. And so that's where like the crypto play like came into the picture. And the other reason as well is that, so what we want to do with IRMA, we want to have a very transparent system where all the actions that our users will take, it will also be recorded on the blockchain. So it will stay there, like, and it will be like people, will have a proof of whatever they did, like in the past. And so the other reason is that we're also working on like a certification technology where like people will also be able to become like AI marketers, and so they will also get certification directly on the blockchain. So for them, so not only I would say IRMA will help like people that want to do marketing, but it will also like potentially create new careers where people, like by using IRMA, like and all our tools, will be also able to become like marketer themselves and like offer their services to other companies.
Yeah, so yeah, very detailed there. So let me kind of like summarize if I because you said a lot there. So let me
Sure.
try to break
Yeah.
it down.
Yeah.
So basically if I'm a marketer or I'm marketing something, I can use IRMA token to create my marketing campaign. And if there's participants or individuals out there that want to participate in that campaign by sharing the data or by having something that's affiliated with if I'm crypto, for example, if I'm doing a crypto campaign and you're in crypto, you
Yeah.
could say, hey, I'd like to contribute to your campaign. And by being a participant in that campaign or a part of the marketing funnel, you are getting rewarded because you're allowing IRMA to basically to be a part of the campaign. And then all the campaign analytics that are broken down is pretty much happening and being registered on the blockchain in real time, so that me, as again the marketer, I could see the results of my campaign in real time, how many clicks, how many views, etc., that happened on my campaign, or the execution of my campaign, how many people it reached. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
pretty. Yeah, I mean that's kind of what I've always been looking for, but in one place,
Right.
not in 20 or 30 different places that I had to spend a month or two to learn each different platform, and even then I wasn't an expert.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. And so again, that's like the whole like our whole goal is really like for like even people that have no experience in marketing, they can just go to one place and boom, like have everything there, so they can execute like on everything they need to do the marketing. And again, like the other side of it is, as I said, like for users like that have like followings like on social media and that don't really do anything with their profile, I would say, then they can earn like tokens as well. So which is a great way for them to get some rewards.
Yeah, the reason that I got involved in blockchain or in crypto was back in like 2015, 2016, and I realized that the system was changing from Web 2 to Web 3, or there was a potential for the system to change from Web 2 to Web 3, where the participants that help grow networks, whether they be social media networks or now this marketing engine that you guys, this AI marketing engine that you guys have created, that the participants, meaning the lay people like myself, that I could be compensated instead of basically being fleeced for my data and for my because we spend all of our time on various social platforms, Instagram, Twitter, now X, Facebook, all the different platforms across the country, and we are the product of these
Exactly. Yeah.
we are the product. Our time is the product, right? The most valuable asset that we have on this world in the world is our time, and of course our health, and then everything else kind of falls below that. But our time has value. It's
Hmm.
the most valuable thing we own. And yes, we're able to use Facebook for free. We're able to use Instagram and Twitter for free, for better or for worse. That if I was to ask people, do you want to spend $20 or $30 a month for Facebook and Instagram, but you get to keep your data, that the majority of the people will be like, I don't want to spend $20 or $30 a month. They can have my data. But now
True.
with Web3, all these people can they don't have to make that choice because if they're participating, and at least with IRMA, they're getting rewarded for that participation. Is that pretty accurate?
Yeah, no, that's totally accurate. And so, yes, I agree with you. So, what most people don't realize is that if it's with Facebook, X, like LinkedIn, and all these social medias, it appears to be free. Yes. But the thing is that they collect like your data. And so, this data is nearly like the most important resources I would say that you can give. Right? Because why? Because Facebook and all the other like social medias, they are making millions or like if it's not billions like with what data like they mine from you, and after that they will sell that like to companies that want like to use Facebook ads, etc., etc., to market their product and services, and at the end of the day you don't get anything out of it. Or as you said, what you get is that you can use these platforms for free, I would say, but except that you don't really get anything. And so what we want to do with IRMA is that we want to reward like the users for their data, like like with like the following they have and everything, and so they will be able to get rewarded for that. So that's kind of like the difference here.
One of the things that you and I had in a private conversation when I was learning about IRMA and learning about the team, and I said, AI is a tool and it makes things easier. And you corrected me and you were like, Erik, AI isn't a tool anymore. And I said, well, what do you mean by that? And you were like, well, it's underlying logic. Can you explain a little bit more about that conversation that we had in private?
Yeah, sure. So I think that AI right now is like it's building like its own logic, right? And so like there are like of course like pros and cons with that, because sometimes like AI can hallucinate as well. So like that's where like it can give you like some wrong like information, I would say. But in the future, like AI will become as big, if it's not bigger, like than the internet. Because I remember, like at the time when the internet came out, like I even saw, like I remember like some shows, like that were saying that, oh yeah, internet, like that just a thing that will never last, like it will just be like like any other technology, it will come and after that it will disappear or whatever. And so for me, like the way I see AI is exactly like the internet. Like internet, like it just changed the world, right? Like I remember, like I mean, we both are like in generations where we know like the time when we didn't have internet, right? When we didn't have like smartphones and like GPS and everything, where it was like a paper and like like maps and stuff like that. So it was another world. Now that sometimes when I think about it, I'm like, how did we survive? Like it was crazy. Like when you wanted to plan like a road trip or whatever, you had to go like at least a week in advance with your map and like drawing like your like like ways and stuff like that. Like to make sure that you arrive at destination, or where you have like to meet somebody like at a big festival or something like that, you had to give like, okay, so let's meet at this time, like at this exact spot, etc., etc. I mean, like now when you talk about that, because you said like you have like a 15-year son, like when you talk to them about that, they don't understand, they're like, what do you mean, like it sounds crazy to me, right? And it kind of was, like now that we are used to all this technology. And I really think that AI, like is definitely like this next step, where now, like you also have like a lot of robots that are coming like online, so with like artificial intelligence. So I really think that we cannot even imagine what AI like will be like in 10 years. Like I think that if we could see what it will be in 10 years, like it would blow our minds, because it will be like a totally different world, I would say. And so again, I think that when we will think about today, we'll say, wow, you remember like, we still used to do this or used to do that. So I really think that AI is not a tool anymore. AI is really like a way of thinking, I would say. And so with its own way of thinking, it will also change our way of thinking. And so, as you said before, like in the future, without AI, like I don't really know, like if we will be able to even like do certain things. To be honest, because AI will like help us in a lot of different ways.
Going back to what I said earlier, just on your opinion, do you think that AI is going to hurt critical thinking in this country for like my 15-year-old son or even younger than that, or 8-year-old daughter, or which I don't have, but you get my point here,
Yes, yes.
you know,
I think that it's a very interesting topic because I talked, like during Christmas, I went back to France and Germany, like to see my family, and that's actually a topic that came up with my brother, because he was also thinking like, oh, like the younger generations, like they cannot do this anymore, and they cannot do math and this and that, because now we have all these tools, right? Like it's kind of like us, like at the time when we had like a calculator or something, right? Like our parents or grandparents, they were like, yeah, you don't need that, guys. You just need to think about it, and boom, you will be able to do it, right? But what I told my brother is that each generation we always had some geniuses, right? So, for example, in the past, it might have been Einstein, for example, and so now we still have like the Bill Gates or like the Elon Musks and things like that, right? So I really think that each generation will still have like innovations and all like these new geniuses and stuff like that. And of course, does it mean that for the average person, I would say like the critical thinking will go down? Maybe. But I will also tell you that, for example, like before, like when we didn't have like computers and things like that, like CD-ROMs and stuff, I still remember that we were using encyclopedia, right? Like in like paper, right? Like books, basically, right? So now we are not doing that anymore. Why? Because you can just go on Google and say, hey, what is this? What is that? And then you have like everything like in 2 seconds, right? You don't have to go to your encyclopedia and then like spend like 30 minutes searching the information you need, right? So it accelerated actually like the process of learning, I would say. And so for me, like for anybody like who is willing to learn, nowadays with AI, like it will accelerate that. So you will be able to learn more faster. And so for me, like it all depends on how the technology will be used. But I can see that like I still like believe like in future generations, and I still believe that they will be able to use like the different tools that AI will create the right way.
That's actually I didn't even think about it like that necessarily. In that every kind of generation, you mentioned Einstein, and then of course Bill Gates and Steve Jobs and Elon Musk, and all these kind of like touch different generations, and each generation has its different level of genius. Every one of those individuals are geniuses in their own right.
Yeah,
So maybe the future generation is going to be the generation that's able to master AI technology and utilize it. Right.
yeah.
That could be that next level of genius in my opinion. All right. So off that. So let me get another fun question with you, and because you mentioned the internet, and obviously AI is a technological innovation. Of course, blockchain is a technological innovation. So, in terms of if you were to rank in terms of like the greatest technological innovation, is it internet or AI or blockchain? Like, how would you rank those three in terms of technological innovations?
Mm, that's a tough question, but I would say probably like internet first, because without internet, like you don't have like the other two technologies, I would say, right? Because it's thanks to the internet that AI can like have like so many like data points and etc etc. So I would say probably like internet number one, then I would say AI number two, and then blockchain number three. But again, it's like very, very close, like still in my mind. But I would say that that's probably like the ranking I would give these three technologies.
Yeah, I agree. I see some people online arguing that AI is bigger than the internet or maybe bigger than the internet.
Mhm.
But do we really have AI without the internet? Since isn't AI like sourcing all of the material from the internet
Yeah,
anyways, like in terms of its
absolutely.
intelligence?
Yeah, yeah.
Right. So
So
yeah.
without internet, we wouldn't have AI, right? Or not as it is right now, right? So I would say that definitely like internet is that. But again, like to just quickly come back to your previous question. So that's like exactly what I told my brother too. It's like who created AI? That's the new generation, right? That's not like Einstein, for example, right? And so that's why I'm saying like all the new generation, they will always come up with new like tools, new services, new products that will revolutionize something, right? So for example, we had like, as you mentioned, blockchain like not so long ago, and so I'm pretty sure that we will have like even more crazier and like better technologies in the future as well. So that's why I remain very optimistic, I would say, about the future.
Yeah, and for me, technology is always supposed to solve pain points, solve problems, and make things easier. And who can argue against AI making things easier and solving problems? All right, cool. I'm glad we were able to play those fun games. So I mentioned funnels. I mentioned marketing funnels, drip campaigns. Is that is that marketing 2025, or are we still going to see funnels in 2026?
So I would say that we will still see like funnels, but again, it's evolving, right? And so that's why to have like a technology that is able to evolve, able to use new ways, I would say, of doing marketing, that's important. And so that's why, of course, like now we came up with IRMA, but IRMA will be an evolving technology because we know, as we discussed, even before, that every day you have new tools coming out, right? And so our goal is really like to stay, like ahead of the curve and like to be able to integrate all these different tools, etc., to our engine, like and to make it better. And so for me, funnels in marketing are important, but it's also important to be diversified. So for example, you shouldn't put everything onto emails, for example. You shouldn't put everything into social media. So you should diversify and use all the ways that you have to market, like your products and services. And that's exactly what IRMA is doing.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. I was always going to ask, does Irma have any competitors? I don't know. Do you want to answer that
Yeah,
question? Do we
sure.
have that?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Ted.
Well, I would say that we don't really have a competitor to be honest, because a lot of people, when we showed the technology, they were, oh, there are some components that are similar to this, some components that are similar to that, but we don't really have a competitor that does everything we do. So which means that we have like some competitors that do like a part of it, but not everything. And so that's where like IRMA is different, because we are trying really like to be the one-stop shop. So meaning that we are trying like to really do everything and to be good at everything, because that's always like the tricky part, I would say. Usually when you diversify and you do a lot of things, you are not really good at everything you are doing, right? And so that's what we are trying to do. So we are trying to be good at like everything that we are offering like our customers. And yeah, so again, like just to do a quick recap on what like IRMA, I would say, is offering. So we are offering automation on like social media. We are offering like emailing as well, content creation, webinars. So we also have like a database of 1 billion plus records. So that's also like good for like lead generation, investors, etc. So we like our like offering, I would say, is pretty wide, I would say, in terms of what you can do. And so that's exactly like the goal. So you don't have, like as you said before, to use like different tools, to go to different applications, websites, etc. You go to one place, and that's where you will find like all the tools you need.
Well, this is all part of the IRMA ecosystem, and we really didn't touch on. You're mentioning tools, but
Yes.
are these tools, I guess, partnerships that IRMA's partnered with third-party companies that offer different tools or services? And if so, I don't know if you want to touch on who those companies are, but maybe talk about like what are obviously there's CRM, there's SMS like what are the different for lack of a better term, what are the different tools that encompasses the ecosystem that IRMA's partnered with or
Sure,
has
yes.
created?
So we partner with a company called Lead Nova. So that's like the database I was just talking about before. Like with 1 billion plus company. We also have a partner called Campaign Pulse Media, and so that's tools, also marketing tools, but for like the more like the government and political realms, I would say. So you can use like a political consultant. They will be able to use like these tools to create like their campaigns. So that's like a big one as well. So we also partnered with a company called COEP. So we will, and they have like a tool called SalesOrbit.io. And so we partner with them also to offer like some other automations like around like social media, and yeah, like so all the automations like that goes with that. We also have like one partner called Market Leverage. So they are using affiliates, and they are working with affiliates to do marketing as well. And so they already have like more than 5,000 affiliates. So we will be able to use them as well. And so again, we are like like working on other partnerships that we will bring like to the ecosystem. And so we have like a lot of good things coming up down the line this year. So every time that a new partnership will be created, we will definitely let our followers know.
So on the client side, this is interesting to me. So on the client side, I can come onto the IRMA platform and I have access to Lead Nova, Campaign Pulse, Sales Orbit. I don't have to necessarily have a login account with or some sort of subscription to any one of these different platforms. I can get all that in one-stop shop on the IRMA platform simply by utilizing the token to create my campaign. I have access to political campaigning, SMSing, email, whatever it is that I need to do as a marketer. You guys have partnered with the company or have created that service, and it's all on the one platform.
Correct. Yes. So like the IRMA engine, like will be able to use like all these different tools to serve like your different campaigns and whatever you need to promote.
So yeah, this is fantastic. So let's break it down like in layman's terms, like some real world examples
Mhm.
of where Web3 and AI marketing is done right, and where the IRMA engine can help facilitate this type of marketing campaign. Can you give me any type of examples that exist out there that you've seen, or any type of hypotheticals that we can come up with that IRMA can facilitate?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have like a lot of customers like again that wants to promote like their product and services. So it could be like in healthcare, in crypto, in new technologies. So whichever, actually like the industry doesn't really matter that much, to be honest with you, as long as you need to promote something. So again, like usually it's like products or services. You can just come to IRMA, and IRMA like will do whatever it needs to do like around like social media, emailing, like webinars, etc., to kind of like spread the word like for your products and services. So that would be, I would say, the probably like real life use case number one. And then you also have a lot of companies that are trying to raise funds. So that's another one where like we can use our like database like with 1 billion plus records to send like some to create some leads like for them, like to try to raise funds. They can also use, for example, webinars like to present like their company, why do they want to raise funds, etc. So that these two use cases, I would say, are like the main ones, I would say. So companies that are trying to raise funds, or companies that are trying to promote their products and services.
So, as you're aware, Stefan, I'm a real estate agent by day. I'm like one of the top crypto real estate agents in America,
Yeah.
and that's kind of like a foreign subject for a lot of real estate agents. There's about 3 million licensed real estate agents just here in America, and I created a course. And I don't have the time to market my course to 3 million real estate agents. And 3 million real estate agents is a niche, but it's focused. I know who they are. And I know how to reach them. I just don't have the time to reach them or the time to learn different platforms to do so. So could I come onto the IRMA platform and say, hey, I'm a real estate agent. I created this online course and I also have a physical book that people can buy. And I have this physical book. I'd like to market this course and this book just to real estate agents. I don't need the 300 plus a million Americans, but I need the real estate agents to do this. Can you, IRMA, go find me licensed real estate agents through whatever means that you're going to do. There's 3 million of them. Go find me these 3 million agents, create scripts and start marketing to these agents via SMS and or email marketing or social media posts.
Yeah, absolutely. So we can definitely, or Irma can do that, for you. So it can, give you for example, a very focused list on specifically on real estate agents. Or if you, as you said, if you know like who they are and you already maybe have like your own list already, prepared, then we
Yeah.
can also use that, or the engine can use that, and you can just say like, hey, this is the list, I want to use, and then Irma would use like this list with all like the social media marketing, emailing, etc., SMS, or whatever it needs to do to reach out to these different people.
We're
Mhm.
not doing this live, but we're going to be posting this podcast everywhere, including the visual podcast. I'm assuming on YouTube. So I want to know from people who are watching this podcast, how would you utilize the IRMA token? Put it in the comment section below. Let us know that when IRMA is live and you're able to utilize it, what are the different things that you would want IRMA to do, and what business you're in, and how can IRMA help benefit you and your company? And then we're going to look at all the comments below and message each person individually and give you kind of like a blueprint on how IRMA could be utilized to help facilitate whatever issue you're having. Sounds good, right? All
Yeah.
right. So let's go into the, because we're kind of wrapping, we're kind of coming up close to the hour. I like to be within an hour of these podcasts. So the future, AI agents, verifiable identity, and the end of spam. We're going to end spam with this? Or what does that mean?
So I think that the reason why you have spam is because like most of the time you receive emails that you don't want, right? And I guess that it's the same for everybody. So I have like a lot of junk like emails that are coming, and I'm like, okay, like why do they send me like something for pregnant ladies or something like that, right? Like so I'm not really interested into that. So I think with Irma, what will be great is that as we know, with our database and with like different, like tools that we have, we know exactly like who we should market that to. So meaning that like people, like at least from Irma, they will only have like relevant, information for them. And as I mentioned before, that's also why, like for example, if you subscribe, with Irma rewards, so you will be able to choose, okay, so for example, I'm interested into in fashion, for example. So I only want, Irma to use, for example, my profile, my Instagram profile, to post like fashion things, right? So I don't want crypto, I don't want technology, I don't want cars or whatever it might be. I just want fashion, for example. And so then it also means that the audience that will see like these different like promotions and things like that around like the fashion industry, they that's what they want to see, right? Because if they are like subscribed to these specific like Instagram account, is because it's, for example, like around like fashion, right? Some other accounts will be around like a lifestyle, etc., etc. So the audience from these specific accounts are like subscribed because they want to see like fashion or lifestyle or whatever it might be. And I think that that's where, like I guess Irma can help, around like spam, or something like that, but it won't like stop spam, because basically like spam, I guess, unfortunately, will always be there, because like it's kind of like hackers, like they will always find new ways, I would say, to send, like their junk emails and things like that. So IRMA is not really a protection against spam, but I will say that we will do our best, like not to spam people, like with our technology.
Yeah, I tell people all the time, marketing is inevitable, and none of us can escape marketing. None of us can, unfortunately, none of us can escape getting messages that have no relevance to us, like being a pregnant woman. But I don't mind being marketed to, especially if it's something that the internet knows that I'm looking for. I'm
Right.
looking for a new TV stand right now for my
Yeah.
for my room. I don't mind if I'm getting bombarded with marketing messages about new TV stands because that's
Yeah.
what I'm looking to buy right now, or
Exactly.
healthcare, for example, or a new car if I'm looking.
Hmm.
But I don't want to receive messages about Eric, are you looking for funding for your business right now? Like no, like
Exactly.
why people just I don't so
Yeah.
yeah, like I don't mind again, I don't mind sharing my information with marketers as long as they're marketing to me what I'm looking for, not for stuff
Exactly.
that I can care less about.
Yeah. Yeah.
So let's kind of like wrap it up here. Are there any things that I mean, you're such a dynamic individual. I've been so interested in having conversations with you and getting to know you better over the last few months that I met you down here in Miami and now I'm an advisor for the team here at IRMA Token. Is there anything that I missed? Because I'm definitely want to have you on again.
Yeah. No, like I think that it was great, and again, thank you very much, like so Eric, to be the host, like of this podcast, and I know that you will continue, like in the future. So the goal is to have a podcast, like every month, like with different guests. So we'll start, like of course with guests, like from the team, so from the digital innovations group team, but we will also have, like a different guests, like that are maybe like more well known, like from the public in the future. And I know that, like you will be a great host. So thank you again, like for yeah, accepting, like this position. And yeah, and I couldn't have like hoped for a better host than you. So thank you for that.
I appreciate that. Like at the start of every year, I always think about like what are the things that I want to focus on. And in 2026, I'm focused on things that interest me. Of course, anything related to music and the intersection of blockchain. I'm interested in music catalog valuation and royalties that has absolutely nothing to do with crypto or blockchain. But it kind of ties into like real world assets on chain. So I'm really bullish on the narrative behind real world assets on chain. I think it's probably the biggest opportunity for crypto and blockchain to really show how powerful the technology really is by creating liquid markets for traditional illiquid stuff and illiquid properties and
Hmm.
physical assets. And then there's the intersection of AI and marketing, which you guys have educated me on. And I was interested in this space before that because, again, I have these problems in my life. I
Hmm.
have these marketing challenges. I don't have the time to learn. I don't have these large budgets to hire various people to create an entire marketing team to do what I want. But yeah, I want to target to real estate agents about my book. Yes, I
Hmm.
want to target and get more fans for the clients that I manage on the music side. I just don't have the time to do all of that. So it's really I'm really happy to be a part of the team and to see where the evolution of of my interest collide, and
Hmm.
especially around AI and marketing and AI and marketing automation, which I think you guys are building such a robust engine. I can't wait to try it out for what I need personally on the real estate side. But I guess to wrap up, this is the first episode that we're doing on the IRMA show. We focused on the intersection of AI, marketing, automation, and of course Web3 and cryptocurrency. And I look forward to interviewing or having a podcast with your other team members who are just as dynamic as you, and see where we go from there, as well as talking to other marketers from big brands and to see how are they marketing their products right now and how can they potentially use IRMA to continue to market their products and give it a boost, a step up with all the tools and different partnerships that we have and we'll be announcing in the future. So if there's nothing else to say or add, I guess we'll just kind of wrap it up here.
All right. Well, thank you again, Eric. And so for the listener, like don't hesitate to follow us up on social media, on our website, like different websites. So I think the links will be somewhere in this video. So again, thank you, Erik. Thank you for all like the people that will listen to this podcast, and I cannot wait to listen to the future episodes.
Any questions or suggestions that you have, put them in the comments below. Shoot us an email. Find us online at irmatoken.ai. Message any. I'm pretty visible on social media. Just shoot me a DM and I'll respond as soon as I can.
Thank you very much. All right. See ya, guys. Bye bye.